class. Thank you for coming to this platform. I'm using this opportunity as you are in the house. Go over some of the things. You might have done it in your class or in your school, but then this is a top up. Okay, we are looking at trigonometry. This is a broad topic that can take us the whole month, but I will do my best and then give you the various concepts within the shortest possible time. Okay, now trigonometry. What is the definition? This is the study of the relationship between angles underlined, and then the side of a triangle. Now, a triangle is a three-sided figure. So this is a triangle. So these are the angles. If you are looking at the relationship between these angles and then the side, then we are talking about trigonometry. Now, I have underlined the word angles. What is angle? Now, angles are formed when two straight lines meet. So we already, if you have this straight line and then another one, so the corner, the intersection is what is called an angle. Now listen, in trigonometry, positive angles are measured from anti-clockwise direction, from positive x-axis. These words are very important. From positive x-axis, anti-clockwise direction, right? If you have a cross like this, and you start from here, that's the positive x-axis, 0. So you go anti-clockwise means moving to the left. So this way, this is anti-clockwise. So at this point is 90, and here is 80, 270, and then you come back to 360. Take note, angles are measured from anti-clockwise direction. That is the positive angles. Of course, if you are looking at the negative angles, then if you are taking the clockwise direction, that would be negative angle. In the course of the lesson, I will explain what a negative angle is. Is that okay? Go. Now, the next one that we want to talk about is measurement of angles. Measurement of angles. If you are not able to write the notes, as I told you, I am recording it. I will put everything on my channel. That's Utisam. After this, I will put it there. So you don't worry. Sit down and then get the explanation. Is that okay? Now, measurement of angles. There are two main measurements of angles. You have a degree measure. That is, angle can be measured in degree. Angles can be measured in degree. Yes. So that's why sometimes you have 0 degrees, 50 degrees. You can even say that the unit. Yes, angle can be measured in a degree. And then we can have a radian measure. These are the two main ways that we measure angles. Now, bear in mind that trigonometry is also in core mathematics. So I'm looking at all the aspects. I will consider those concepts in core math and then those concepts in elective math. So degree measure and then radian measure. Yes, radian measure is in terms of pi. Yeah, very soon you get to know. Okay, so what I want us to do is look at the relationship between degree measure and then radian measure. Degree measure and radian measure. So the first thing we need to look at is degree. 1 revolution. Now when you say revolution, maybe 110. Yes, 110. If you draw a circle like this, 110 is also called 1 revolution. Now 1 revolution is the same as 360 degrees. So first, if you are talking about half revolution, what would it be? That's half 10. Half 10. So half 10 is equal to 180. And then sometimes you can talk about 1/4 revolution. That is quarter, right? And this is 90. It's equal to 90 degrees. This is just by the way. Now what is radian or pi? Now radian is given by circumference of a circle over diameter. Now radian is the same as pi. Now what is the formula for finding the circumference of a circle? Those who study mensuration very well in JHS, you realize that is 2 pi r. That is 2 pi times radius. And then diameter is equal to 2r. So this is 2r. So this r will cancel, this 2 will cancel. So when we talk of radian, that will be pi. 1 radian is equal to pi. Go. So that is it. So at this point, I want us to look at how to convert from degree measure to radian measure. Degree measure to radian measure. So that will be pi is equal to, take note, 180 degrees. Pi is equal to 180 degrees. First, let's look at how to convert this degree 90 degrees to radian. So we know 180 degrees is equal to pi. Therefore 90 over 180 times pi. This will go here 0, go 2. So 90 is the same as pi on 2, right? So it's a simple proportion. 1 pi is equal to 180 degrees. So if you have 90, so 90 over 180 times that. Okay. Now how do we convert? Now write this one down. If you have a pen and paper, just try this one. 330 degrees. How do you convert this one to a radian measure, right? 330. Okay. So write down your answer. I will go to the main page and then I will ask you how. So write it down. 330. How do you convert it to radian? So you use the simple proportion that I gave to you. Now the other side too is, how do you convert an angle in radian to degree? An angle in radian to degree. Okay. Degree, radian, right? For radian to degree, for example, 5 on 6 pi. How do you convert this one to degree? It's very simple. Just multiply this one. You replace pi by 180. So this will be 5 on 6 times 180. Since pi is equal to 180. So this will go here 30. And we are getting 150 degrees. So the first one was from degree to radian. So once again, I want you to try this. 4 over 3 pi. Write it down. 4 over 3 pi. So very soon, I'll hold on and then get back to you. If you have any question on what we have done so far, then you ask. Okay. So I'm done with the measures, the 2 measures that we have. So now, having established the relationship between degree measure and then radian measure, we want to look at the ratios of trigonometry. Ratios of trigonometry. Now, if you remember, we said that trigonometry is the study of relationship between the side and then the angles of a triangle. So these are the 3 main ratios of trigonometry. Okay, I was talking about the ratios of trigonometry. There are 3 main ratios of trigonometry: sine, cosine, and tangent. These are the basic 3. And for those of you who are doing core maths alone, work within this. There are other 3, which are cosecant, secant, and then cotangent. Those who are doing hard maths or elective maths, yes, they add this one to the first 3. Now, because it is a ratio, let's draw our right angle triangle. This is our right angle triangle, 90 degrees, and then this is theta, A, B, and then R, right? Okay, now, if you want to find sine, the short form of sine is SIN. Sine of the acute angle. This is acute angle. Now remember, the side facing this acute angle is called the opposite. Where the 90 and then acute angle align is called adjacent. The longest side is called hypotenuse. Right. Now sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. Take note. That is the opposite side over the hypotenuse side. Cos theta be adjacent over hypotenuse. Right. And then tan theta is opposite over adjacent. Opposite over adjacent. So this is how the ratios are defined. Now the other three are defined in terms of the first basic. So if you have cosecant, we call it cosec theta. Now this is 1 over sin theta. Then sec, that is the secant. This is 1 over cos theta. Then lastly, we have cot, that is the cotangent, that is 1 over tan theta. So take note. We have the three basic ones, and then the other three which are defined in terms of the first three ratios. They are considered as ratios because each is defined in terms of the ratios of. This one is opposite, the ratio of opposite to hypotenuse. Cos theta is the ratio of adjacent to hypotenuse. Tan theta, the ratio of opposite to adjacent. Right. That's why they are called ratios. Okay. We want to start with the negative angles. If you remember, I told you that angles are measured from anti-clockwise. So if you are measuring an angle in a clockwise direction, they are considered as negative. All angles measured anti-clockwise are considered as positive. Right. Now, how do we convert a negative angle to a positive angle? Let maybe theta be the negative. So we want the positive angle of any negative angle. That will be 360 minus theta. So let's look at this. We are going this way as positive. Come this way, that is clockwise. Example, sine negative 30 degrees. Find sine negative 30 degrees. So the formula is, please take note. Don't go and say minus minus. This theta is the negative angle. So the positive angle of this sine minus 30 go to 360. Minus 30, just take it like that. And which is the sine here. Sine 330. Compute this using the calculator. That is how we convert a negative angle to a positive angle. Just subtract the angle from 360. So having gone through the negative angles, let's briefly take quadrants. So this is called all divisions. Quadrants. Now, we said that angles is measured from positive x-axis and it starts with 0. So here will be 90, 180, 270. Coming back is 3. These are the 4 quadrants. Now, whilst in the house, pick your calculator. Now find the sine of any angle between 0 to 90. Find the cosine, then the same thing applies to tan. You realize that all ratios are positive here. All ratios are positive. And then if you take angle between 90 and then 180, you realize that only sine is positive here. Then if you take your calculator and you pick any angle between 180 to 270, and you realize that only tan is positive. The last one, obviously, if you pick an angle between 270 to 360, then only cos is positive here. All the rest are negative. That's what it means. All the rest are negative. So these are the 4 quadrants that we have. You must be very careful. Know the range, the range of values that cover every quadrant. And very soon we are going to make use of. Now, I have a question on the screen. Express the following in terms of trigonometric ratios of acute angle. Let's say 300 degrees, sine 300 degrees, cos 315 degrees, then tan 250 degrees. Tan 250 degrees. We are to express them in terms of acute angles. So you draw your cross. They start from 0, 90, 180, 270, and then 360. So 300 will be somewhere here. So you start from here, 300. Now, always the acute angle is taken from the x-axis and then the angle. So you see, up to this point is 300. Now between this and that, what is it? Is it not 60? So you can say that sine 300 degrees is equal to sine 60 degrees. So likewise, we are going to do the same thing for cos. So when you draw the cross, here is 270, so 315 will still come here. So if here is 316, what will be this angle? The acute angle, is it not 45? This is 315. So here, this small angle that makes an angle to the x-axis is 45. So you can say that cos 315 is the same as, here in this quadrant, cos is positive. If cos is positive here, then this is the same as cos 45. Now let's go back to the first one. The first one is 300. 300 was here. Here sign is negative, so we have to bring the sign negative. Okay, I've done 2. So wherever you are, take your paper and pen and then try the tan 250. Try tan. When I come back to the main, look at common angles. Now here, when we say common angle, there are some angles that without a calculator you can get the value straightforward. Yes. So the common angle that we have around as 0 degrees, 30, 45, 60, 90, 180 sometimes. But most of the common angles are 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. Then you can add 180 to it. So let's look at the first part. So the first part, sin 0 is 0, sin 30 is half, sin 45, that's 1 over root 2, sin 60, root 3 over 2, sin 90 is 1, sin 180 is 0. So let's come back to cos. Cos 0 is 1, cos 30 is root 2 on 2, and then here is will be all 0. Cos 45 is root 2, cos 60 is also half, cos 90 0. So if you have been hearing cos 90 well, cos 90 well, that is where it's coming from. That is where it's okay. Now when it comes to tan, this is tan 0 is 0, tan 31 over root 3, tan 45 is 1, tan 60 is root 3, and then tan 90, that is infinity. Good. So these are the common angles that we have around.